Welcome to online learning prepared by Teacher Edward James from Patumsok sa 5 Anuban Taksin Bancay International School. This video recording is for educational purposes only. My name is Teacher Edward and I am your speaker for today. Before we are going to proceed to our lesson for today, let's have a quick review on what we studied yesterday. Can you still remember? Very good. We study about force, and force is a push or pull upon an object. It can be a push, it can be a pull. Those are examples of force. We also study resultant force in the same direction. If the force applied to an object will be added together if they are on the same direction. Okay, so look at this picture. 25 Newton to the right and 20 Newton to the right, because there are two people carrying a couch. So the resultant force is also called the net force. So how to get the resultant force? Simply add the two forces applied on the object. So 25 Newton plus 20 Newton is equal to 45 Newton to the right. Very good. Now, what if the resultant force is applied, or the two forces applied in an opposite direction? So we are going to subtract. So here we can see two dogs fighting over a toy. One, the little dog is exerting 10 Newton to the left, and the big dog is exerting 12 Newton to the right. So the resultant force will be 2 Newton to the right. Okay, so you can visit this website pet.colorado.edu Masses and Springs so that you can play this online game. So here, Masses and Springs. So here, you can see that there are two springs, and if you're going to put 250 grams right here, it will just set right there. So the force of the 250 grams will stretch the spring all the way to this green line. Now let's put 100 grams here. Okay, so the 100 grams is somewhere here. We can use a ruler to actually get the amount, or let's say we can get the difference of the distance of 100 grams over 250 grams, and it says right here it's like 25 centimeters. Okay, so that's the difference between 100 grams and the 250 grams if you put them on a spring scale. Okay, so again, this website is phet.colorado.edu. You can search it in the internet if you want to play this game in your convenient time. Alright, now at this point in time, I would like to invite all the students to kindly turn on their book or open their book on page 90. Okay, and we are going to answer page 90 here. I will answer number 1, and it will become an example for you to answer number 2, number 3, and number 4. So for number 1, there is 5 Newton applied to the left of the object. Okay, it will go to the right, and there's another 5 Newton applied on the same direction. So if it's same direction, you are going to add. If it is opposite direction, you are going to subtract. So the answer here is the resultant force is 10 Newton, and the object will move to the right. Okay, because the 2 Newton are going to the right. They are having the same direction. Now, I want you to pause this video and I want you to answer number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay? So you can pause the video now and come back if you are finished. Alright, I hope you are done answering number 2, 3, and 4. We can see here for number 2 that there's 5 Newton exerted going to the right and 7 Newton going to the left. So you are going to add or subtract. You are going to subtract because this is opposite direction. So 7 Newton minus 5 Newton is equal to 2 Newton. Okay, the answer here is 2 Newton and the object will move to the left. Alright, I hope you got that item correct. Number 3, we can see here that there's a balance forces, 6 Newton to the left, 6 Newton to the right. How much or what will be the resultant force? The resultant force is 0 Newton. Therefore, the object will not move. Okay? Because the object will not move if there are balance forces applied on each side. Alright, now let's go to number 4. What is the resultant force here? 8 Newton going to the right and 2 Newton going to the left. The resultant force will be 6 Newton and the object will move to the right. Very good. Now, for number 2, Bob weighed 2 rocks with a spring scale. First, he weighed 1 rock at a time. Second, he weighed 2 rocks at the same time. Then he wrote down this information. Rock 1, 1.3 Newton. Rock 2, 1.5 Newton. Second time, he put the 2 rocks together and the weight is 2.8 Newton. So, what did he get for both times? Okay, for both times, he get the resultant force. Okay, what can Bob conclude from the experiment? He can conclude that the weight of the 2 rocks together is the same as the sum of each rock. Rock 1 and rock 2. Okay, I hope you got all the correct answers. And once again, if your answer is wrong, I would like you to get a red pen and write the correct answer on your book. Now let's go to our topic for today, Introduction to Friction. Today we are going to answer what is a contact force, what is a non-contact force, what is the difference between these two, and what is the effect of contact and non-contact force in everyday life. For our vocabulary words, you see here, contact force. I want you to repeat each word after I will read them. I will read again. Contact force. Contact force. Number 2. Non-contact force. Non-contact force. Number 3. Magnet. Magnet. Number 4. Gravity. Gravity. Number 5. Friction. Friction. Number 6. Motion. Motion. Contact force. Contact forces are forces in which 2 or more objects or bodies touch. So the clue here is the word touch. You can see a man pushing a box. And on the next picture, 2 men pulling a rope. So in both pictures, you can see that there's a sense of touch. The man is pushing or touching the box, and the 2 men are touching the rope and they're pulling. Number 2, non-contact force. A non-contact force is a force which acts on an object without coming physically in contact with it. For example, when you throw a ball in the air, it will go down eventually because of gravity. We cannot see gravity, we cannot touch gravity, but we can see its effect. That is a non-contact force. Another example is magnet. Okay, now let's go to the third word. Magnet. A magnet is a piece of iron and it has component atoms that is so ordered that the material exhibits properties of magnetism, so it will attract iron containing objects. Alright, and I'm sure you know what is this, and I'm sure you've seen this one before. Number 4 is the word gravity. Gravity is the force that attracts a body toward the center of the earth. So all the objects in the world or on earth is under this law or under this force, this gravity. This gravity will push all the objects, including human, down the center of the earth. Okay? The next word is friction. The resistance that one surface or object encounters when moving over another. So this is friction. We will study that later. Next word is motion, the action or process of moving or being moved. Alright, now for our vocabulary exercise, are you ready? Okay, I want you to pause the video again and I want you to find all the words in this word search. Are you ready? Okay, pause the video now and come back after you find all the words. Are you done finding all the words? If you're done, then good job. Force can be divided into two, contact force and non-contact force. Let's go with non-contact force first. As what I have told you earlier, non-contact force are the energy that we cannot see, like magnets and gravity. Those are non-contact force. Non-contact force, on the other hand, is a friction force and tension force. When you see that this man is pushing to the right, the floor is pushing the object to the left. Okay, so this force, it will stop or slow down any object. So this is what we call friction force. The tension force is of course the push and pull, which we studied previously. So what is friction force? The force that tries to stop the object from moving. So all the things that moves is applied, or friction force is applied. Here in this picture, which one do you think will go down quickly? A or B? Correct answer is A, right? Because of the ski and the surface is smooth because of snow. Alright, so here friction force also will damage our shoes because it has a contact on the road or any surfaces, and it will make our shoes to be worn out after years of usage. Friction force also is applied to the car because if there is no friction force, then the car cannot stop. Because of the friction force, the car can slow down and can stop. Okay, because of the friction force from the tire and the road. Friction force also is applied when you are writing. If you are writing, you will run out of control because you cannot control your handwriting. But because of friction force, you can write it slowly and carefully and it will not go in any direction because of friction. Okay, so when you are going to rub your hands, can you do it right now? When you rub your hands together, there will be a force, or what we call the friction force, and it will cause our hands to become a little bit hot. Okay, so that is also an example of friction force. Another example is the matchstick and the matchbox. Because of friction, it can create fire. Okay, friction. Two surfaces or two objects or bodies touch each other. Friction. Okay, now I will give you now the time to answer our quiz. Okay, so I hope that you will answer everything from quizzes.com, and you can join this by typing this link, and also I will be giving the link in the chat. So that would be all. Thank you for coming. Always be safe and see you again next time. Bye bye.